Hey, it's Sigrun with the Universal Pagan Temple, and we are going to be looking at what Tel Aviv Ted and Pastor John Hagee had to say at a recent Israel Simp rally. But if you're new to the channel, thank you for joining us, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification icon. Really helps us out. We've got links down below for different things, so check them out. But let's get started with the video. So, Pastor John Hagee, who's famous for being an Israel simp, and evangelical proselytizing and manipulating the Christian population in America to entangle us in all these foreign wars on behalf of Jesus, and saying negative things about pagans and witches. And then we've got Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz, Tel Aviv Ted, as my husband calls him, also fronting this and just making a bad name for Americans across the states and across the world. But let's take a look at this video.
The Bible proves that the Jewish people are the most unique people on the face of the earth. They are a chosen people. They are a covenant people. They are a cherished people. They are the apple of God's eye. The unchallengeable fact of the Bible is that Israel and the Jewish people are unique. Listen, Israel did not choose this uniqueness. God chose it for them. Listen to David's prayer in 1 Chronicles 17:20. It's one of the most powerful words in the scripture. Oh Lord,
Notice his voice, the booming voice of artificial importance.
there is none like you, nor is there any God beside you. And who is like your people Israel? Listen, the one nation on the earth whom God went to redeem for himself as a people. Chosen and still cherished.
Okay, well, there you have it. So all of this about the Jewish people, okay, I see your point, but then what about the American people? Why are we paying for this? We're paying for this because of the Christians in this country. They want us to pay for it because they want Armageddon to happen. They want Jesus to come back, so they want Christians to, propagate this propaganda to, have the Jewish people in Israel. And then, once their Armageddon happens, then they, 2/3 of the Jewish population, they believe, will die, and then the rest will be forcibly converted to Christianity. These Christian Zionists, they want that to happen. That's the outcome that they want. It's not out of the goodness of their own heart. No, they're manipulating the situation because they want their biblical prophecy. They want death and destruction, and they don't care about anybody else. You're John Hagee's, he's just simping here. But he wants, one thing, he wants money, obviously. Okay. The next thing is, what I just said. He wants Christians to vote and support, these policies and these senators, that will take this money from AIPAC to completely, finance Israel, their armies, and, so they'll agitate the Muslim population over there and start more wars for America to be in for another 20 years. Propagate the military-industrial complex. It's all tied in. Israel, Christian Zionism, evangelicals, and of course, they're the Christian evangelicals and the Christian Zionists, they're not big fans of pagans or Wiccans or witches. Okay. And then all these, endless wars over there in the Middle East, of course, the military-industrial complex, and that pushes Muslims over into Europe, and causes all the issues over there that we're seeing. And it's just a big clusterfuck over there that pagans, for the most part, wouldn't like nothing to do with at all. But our tax dollars are being spent on this against our will because the Christians want it to happen. And it does make me, happy that we're seeing Christianity kind of lose popularity the world over, although there's been a little push within Christianity. I guess more Bibles are being sold and more Bible apps are being downloaded. But I think that's more in relation to Charlie Kirk's assassination more than anything else. These are just temporary boosts in numbers, which, it would be nice to see. I see Gen Z, they are flipping on Israel, it's very encouraging to see. Because me as a millennial, we were very much raised with support Israel, and that's no longer, the go-to anymore. Israel's losing support throughout the generations, except with the boomers. They're still very much simping for Israel at this point. But just further proof that unfortunately we can be as pagan as we want to, but still our tax dollars are going towards all these holy wars in the Middle East. Even though they don't want to call them holy wars, they are essentially their holy wars, because this is what Christian Zionists, and again, a Christian Zionist is usually an evangelical, but it also includes, other Protestant Christian denominations. They're no friends to pagans, by the way. This is why I bring this up. And then also there are some American Catholics that are very much, Zionists. But so I wanted to, because this video came up with Ted Cruz in it as well, simping for Israel. I wanted to bring up John Hagee and his words against paganism, because it is very important that we identify these pastors within the American Christian community and the denominations of which they represent. Because there is some discourse online, not discourse, but straight out lies. I've seen it before, that, Christians have nothing against pagans, and Christians aren't interested in paganism, and, all we want is for you to convert to Christianity, and we'll just leave you alone, or you're coming after Christians, and this, that, and the other thing, and it's all lies. They come after us first. Pagans, for the most part, want nothing to do with Christianity. We want nothing to do with their holy wars over there in the Middle East. We would like our taxes not to pay for this shit, but unfortunately, we don't have much of any control. But as far as this stuff coming out of these Christians' mouths, out of these pastors' mouths, negativity about paganism, about witchcraft, it comes back on us, because these people listen to these preachers, these pastors, these priests, and then they go to pagans and they harass them. That's what happens, is that, not only do they go and harass them online, but they go and harass them in person as well. And I've gotten that, and I'm sure if you're a pagan and you're watching this, you've gotten it more than once before in your life. Unsolicited negativity, preaching, and harassment from Christians over your faith. But let's get into more of this. At least one thing I can say about John Hagee is that he actually points out that Halloween is a pagan holiday because it derives from Celtic paganism, Samhain, unlike other of these goofy Christians out here saying that Halloween is Christian. At least he gets that right. But then he has called witches agents of Satan and has equated witchcraft with rebellion against God. And he cites Galatians and Exodus, but yeah, as far as rebellion against God, it's his God and not our gods. And I understand that witchcraft is a practice. Not all witches are pagan, but for the most part, yeah, I'd say a good portion of witches are practicing pagans as well. And he's targeted witches in other ways. Those who practice witchcraft today are modern-day Jezebels, seducing souls into hell. The typical fire and brimstone preacher, and he's got a pretty big following still. To get up there with Ted Cruz and proselytize on behalf of Israel. So when you're getting this shit aimed towards you, either in person or online, these Christians are getting this rhetoric from a couple of sources, and John Hagee is one of these sources of this negativity. And then he uses the he calls for vigilance in the Christian community, claims that witchcraft covens target churches and advise members to bind the witches in Jesus' name through prayer vigils. Well, that sounds like witchcraft. Binding magic is very much a part of several different pagan witchcraft folk traditions. And he's labeled Wiccans out as deceived witches who channel demons under the guise of nature worship. And then he's linking that to the rise of occultism in schools and media. Well, like I've said in previous videos about the Christian media and using witches as a popular villain, anything occult is spooky. Ooh. So using it, obviously we're the bad guys in a lot of these shows, but really it misrepresents what paganism is, what witchcraft is for media sensationalism, ticket sales, and all that good stuff. It's just like the what is it? The Conjuring movies, where it's all it's over embellished and very Hollywoodish, and what they see in these movies. There's some Christians that actually believe that you can't watch those types of movies, like even a Harry Potter movie, because it'll invite the devil into your house. Or if you watch a horror movie, it'll invite the devil into your house. There's people that believe this. This isn't just, I'm not just making this up. I've seen YouTube shorts or Instagram shorts, reels, sorry, on this, where, a kid plays a horror movie in the house and the parents are, doing the sign of the cross, and spritzing holy water around because they believe that a demon is going to get in the house through a movie. They believe that these movies are portals when they're just over embellished Hollywood nonsense. Another thing I saw, and then I remember from back in the day, in the mid 2000s, he was saying to parents, don't allow your children to watch such shows as Charmed and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Now, remember, I said mid 2000s, so this is Melissa Joan Hart's Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And he said it was pagan propaganda. That show wasn't pagan propaganda. It was a sitcom. Come on, it's just a sitcom. Calm your tits. We have to remember that these Christians, they're labeling us as spiritually dangerous. And we have to keep an eye on which ones are doing it, what denominations they belong to, so we can, better be prepared if they start to become, more aggressive and more violent because they're wanting to start, like I've been saying, another satanic panic. And I'm seeing a lot of it online. It's just not all on X. No, it's on multiple places where the Christians are starting to feel the crunch of losing their power, losing their sway. So they are going to be lashing out at whoever they can. And unfortunately, we're one of their targets. We can't be ignorant to this, or at least I'm not going to be ignorant to it, and I'll just keep y'all informed. That's another thing. I'll just keep y'all informed if y'all don't feel like looking into it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, blessed be.